Well, I want to now go into your second career. Well, I guess third career because you had night clerk, professional swimmer. But we talked about this with Brendan today of just this shift of when you're so young, at least we were, you were in high school, you don't really realize that you're bad, right? You're coming in and you're like, okay, I'm just doing the next thing and my coach tells me all these things. But then when you start over, you're an adult. And so you have all those feelings of, wait a second, I'm so bad at this. I'm judging myself. I'm not giving myself grace. So talk us through how you made the transition into commentating, what your first opportunity was, and did you have moments of, what the heck am I doing? I'm not good enough. All the feelings that we all have in that transition to the next phase.
Oh, man. I suck so bad. It was so embarrassing. But it was just on a whim because there was a fledgling network called ESPN in early 1985. Nobody had ever heard of ESPN. And they called me and they were doing a competition called the Battle of the Network Stars where they had these celebrity for these TV shows on all the networks compete in sports, and they asked me to do the swimming part of it. A 50-meter race or 50-yard race was part of it. And I said, yeah, sure. I was living in Orlando, Orlando area. And I wish there was something magical I could tell you about that, but just one thing kind of led to another. I did another little gig and then another one, and then swimming asked me to do a couple of broadcasts that they were doing. Actually, it was back on when it was swimming had TBS.
Oh my gosh.
Did swimming for a long time.
Really?
TBS, TNT, yeah. So I did a few of those. I did the Goodwill Games, which was a big deal back in the mid to late 80s, 86, and just kept going after that.
Did you know, were you like...
No.
No, so you just did it, and then you didn't feel any But
but
you kept agreeing to do them, so it had to have sparked something.
Well, I loved talking about swimming.
Okay.
I love to flap my mouth about it, as you know. But no, I didn't think of it as a career. It's never really been a career, but I never thought it'd be something I'd be doing, 40 years later. But I will tell you that I really fell in love with getting excited about watching swimming, and even if it was they stunk at it, I still thought it was really cool. And my father was a motion picture director, so I really wanted to go to work behind the camera. That's kind of what I studied in school. And but then that shift went around, and I swam in '88 for about 6 months before the '88 trials to try to come back, and I didn't. I finaled in the 100, got 7th, and but then after that, I tried out for the '92 games in an audition, and didn't get it, and. I did the triple cast in 1992, which was sort of ahead of its time. It's sort of the cable side of things for the Olympics. And then got my first over there with Dan in '96 in Atlanta.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it was just, people come to me all the time about, I want to break into broadcasting. What should I do? And I said, don't be afraid to take those baby steps. Don't feel like you've got to do it all at one time. Because I started at the bottom and just kind of slowly moved my way up. I went to Turner. Broadcasting in Atlanta to do an internship for the summer in 1985, and stunk really bad.
When you say stunk, what does stunk
Well, because
mean?
I wanted to be a sports broadcaster. I got the bug, doing a couple meets. I wanted to do, I wanted to be Dan Hicks, right? But I was so bad. Oh my gosh! I get on air and I'd freeze, I'd be like this.
I can't even imagine that.
Welcome, everybody. And boom, he really did good on that at-bat, and it was so embarrassing. I got to tell you. And this guy that was the producer, he's passed away now, but he said he threatened me for 20 years that he still had the tape of that he was going to put out there.
Oh, we need to find that.
I
love that.
It's really bad. I was 26 years old, man. I was
It's so hard.
Yeah.
But again, such a testament to you. Again, it's not just this easy, and I love what you said about taking small steps, but also recognizing that it's not also always going to be steps forward.
Right.
You're going to try out for things and not get it. but you keep going. You keep pushing forward. It's just, it's not this linear progression. It's life. It's peaks and valleys. It's ups and downs. And the fact that you stay consistent and true to yourself and what you're doing and are just open for the opportunities to learn and grow and be better as you're going along.
So true.
And here you are.
And here I am.
The voice of
Closing in on the end, but here I am.
Do you have a favorite moment? I think I know the answer, but maybe you'll surprise us.
I won't surprise you because
you won't?
it is going to be the relay
Okay.
in 08. Yeah. I mean, just because of the drama that was building up to that, it was Michael's second event. So if he would have failed on that, I mean, not that 7 golds and a silver isn't amazing, obviously, but it doesn't have quite the same ring to it. And if it would have been early, it would have been tough. I mean, the relay was awesome. But I have so many memories. I saw Pablo Morales on the deck, and he was my teammate in 84, and calling that race in 92 when he won after failing to make the team in 88. Jeff Rouse in 96. These are early, long before your
Jeff
time.
Rouse is my first Olympian I ever met.
Jeff Rouse?
Yes,
No
I got
way.
his autographed. He came to Williamsburg Aquatic Club and the rec center, and I heard him talk, and I was like, I need to be him. Like, I'm obsessed with him.
Isn't that the coolest?
The coolest.
I just think that's so wonderful because that's what we need to do. We remember that. That had to be 25, 30 years ago.
I mean, yeah, I was 7 or 8.
Right.
But yeah, that was the
long
moment where
time
you're
ago.
like, I want to be that.
Yeah.
You know, and we've all done that for people.
That's
and
right.
you
We
never
need to
forget
pass it on.
We do.
Yeah.
That's right. I try to tell kids that, man, because people are going to remember it forever.
Exactly what you say, too, which is very
Forever.
scary.
You have such an influence, and that's a cool story. But yeah, Jeff Rouse was another one, and you know, I have to say Missy in 2012. She and Katie's first was unbelievable. Summer Sanders in 92 was awesome. The men's 800 free relay. I didn't call this, but the women's 400 free relay in 76 when they kicked all those cheaters' butts.
Oh, yeah.
That was cool. They did a movie on that. They did a movie on the 400 free relay for guys. I mean, there's so many that it's hard to put a Mount Rushmore together.
Yeah.
You know.